I love our savoury snacks, and it's a very lucrative market to get into, worth something around £1.3 billion. So it's no wonder that the big established food companies, as well as startups, are all trying to create the next on-the-go sensation.
And the market for high-protein snacks has seen a 500% increase in new products in just 5 years. So one couple have almost literally taken the bull by the horns, given up city life, moved to rural Worcestershire and started producing South African-inspired meaty treats. Simon and Carole chucked in successful careers in IT recruitment and social care to take a punt on bringing the little-known South African snack biltong to an unfamiliar British market.
Carole and I, we're definitely risk takers, and I think the risk is proven itself.
4 years after developing their healthier take on this beef delicacy, they're now selling nationwide and are an official snack provider to high-profile sports teams.
Oh my goodness, what a magnificent view.
I'm meeting Simon just over the county border from their Worcestershire base. This is where his biltong idea came to life, when he hooked up with local farmer Martin.
Good morning, I'm
Good
Kate.
morning, hi, I'm Simon.
Lovely
nice
to meet you,
Hello
Simon.
there.
Kate, Martin.
His herd of grass-fed English Longhorns, the oldest breed of British cattle, are now the basis of this business.
This is like a sort of Turner painting. Absolutely beautiful. Simon, this was your idea. So what was the sort of trigger for this? Were you unhappy in your work?
I think
or?
I'd come to the point where I'd worked, at a corporate level,
Yeah.
and just wanted to do something very different. Otherwise, I'd be stuck doing that for another 20 years until I retired. I'd done a lot of travelling, and I'd been very fortunate enough to try lots of different foods.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, being a guy, I just loved cured meat. And we decided we'd start a biltong business, which is cured air-dried beef.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in South Africa a few years ago. I never liked biltong, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit like eating scabs. Couldn't understand it. I just couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
So, was it a risk producing something that actually a lot of Brits like me might have not had a great experience of?
Yes, I think it was a risk. I think it still is a risk, but there is a Marmite-type moment. You either love it or you hate it.
Martin's 200-strong herd of slow-growing native breed cattle proved an ideal fit.
What is it about the meat of Longhorns?
The Longhorn just has that extra bit of flavour, and then it's always marbled, always lovely speckled marbled fat through the meat, and then that lovely, slightly sweet finish.
So you were doing all the processing?
All the butchery, all myself, and
And
I've
had
got
you
a
done
clue
a
how
course?
to...
Well, I was going to say, had you done a course?
No idea, but how difficult can it be?
Quite hard.
Until you've got the knife in your hand, and then you realise how difficult it is.
Did you even have the right knife?
Probably not, to start with, but we got there. We're now butchering hundreds of kilos of meat per week.
Wow.
Yeah,
So in 5 years, it's grown that quickly?
Oh, it's grown enormously, enormously.
So you're quite pleased that he came to you in the end with
Yes,
this idea?
Yes, definitely, yeah. It's got a story, and it's got a story from the field to the plate, so to speak, or to the packet.
Yeah.
I think that's what's appealing to people a lot.
There's been a DIY ethos at the heart of this business from the outset.
This is very lovely. Is this home?
It is indeed. This is where we make it all.
Oh, OK. Which way?
This way, come on through.
Production takes place in their old garage,
And it's through that door.
which Simon fitted out himself and which partner Carole now runs.
Lovely
Welcome to our domain.
You've got the warm end of the job.
Absolutely.
And the whole family have mucked in to make it work. Carole's son Ewan and daughter Abby help out on the production line.
You'd like to put a white coat,
White coat,
on
I thought,
and an apron.
And hairnet.
And hairnet, please. Yeah.
I do love a hairnet. it's quite an outlay. How much roughly do you think you spent before you really knew whether this business was going to work?
Probably quite a lot. A lot for us. We probably spent about 40 grand, really. I was working full time, and I hadn't heard of biltong before.
No.
And I was told, oh, I think we'll make biltong. And you think, oh, of course, OK, that's fine. But I just trusted him. I thought, oh, please. You know, I did.
How did you know then how to prep it?
I was handed books on charcuterie, a lot of reading. I spoke to lots of South Africans. You know, they wanted to share their recipes.
Right.
But there was a lot of sugar used, and I thought, no, this is lovely meat we're using. We don't need to use sugars.
Yeah.
So we really played around.
Within a few months, they've developed their own high-protein, gluten-free formula and flavours, which they've targeted partly at the sports nutrition market.
Can I come and have a play with you?
Yes, you can certainly. Come and join us.
Brilliant.
This is Abby.
Hello, Abby.
So nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. Sorry to interrupt. You have literally roped in all the
From the
facts.
beginning.
I had no choice.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to have dinner unless I help.
It's certainly a production kept close to home. The meat is slaughtered in nearby Gloucester, then dry-aged for a minimum of 28 days in Farmer Martin's own Himalayan salt chamber, before Carole begins their own particular curing process.
So this is the cut of meat that we have.
It is, and you can see he talked about the marbling through
And you can
it,
see
and
it
you
through.
Absolutely can see it.
Take a scoop, and then you literally coat
Gosh, so
every
it
piece
really
of meat.
is. It's almost like doing a schnitzel or something.
Yes.
You're properly coating
You
it.
just coat it all because it's also curing it, you know,
Right.
so there's some salt in there for curing.
Okay.
And our secret recipe.
Have you got lots of secrets?
We have all of our recipes are secret recipes.
Quite right.
Yes. I'm loving that you're doing my work for me.
So when you started out, how many... This sounds like a stupid question. How many customers did you have? Did you have any customers?
We started with no customers. The first event we did, I mean, we got so excited we actually sold 1 pack of biltong. You know, we sold lots. But our very first one, I got very excited. That's what I couldn't get over, that I had made something and someone wanted to give me money for it.
So we get a hook and a piece of meat, and it has to go into the top.
Once they've marinated overnight, each strip will be hung for 3 or 4 days to complete the curing process.
And they can never be touching, as they won't dry properly.
Okay.
If it touches, it actually will grow mold.
Right.
So
we
it is
definitely
really
don't want
important
it
that the
touching.
air is able to move in between.
How much biltong are you making on a weekly
oh my
basis?
goodness, we can get probably 200 kilos in the week.
200 kilos a week? Yes. And you're doing it all kind of on the kitchen sink?
Yes, and so it does drive me crazy. We are desperate to expand.
Okay, give it a good old boing.
A move to a bigger premises is on the horizon. Now they're producing 8 times as much as when they started and selling direct to supermarkets and London stockists.
You really have roped in the whole family.
The whole family, yeah, for sure.
Despite my previous experience, even I'm tempted to give biltong another bash.
It's much thicker, different texture altogether, just much more elastic. Which terribly good. Oh, that Martin knows what to do with his cattle, doesn't he?
He does indeed.
And then you know what to do with it afterwards.
like to
You
think so.
just have the lovely sweetness of the meat there,
Yeah.
you know.
Good biltong, you can always taste the beef.
Yeah,
Always taste the beef.
yeah. So
And
you want it to become literally part of our culture.
Absolutely right, yeah. But a British version,
Right.
and very healthy.
Well, people say just get through 2 years, then it's 3 years, and you think, oh, we're still here? We're actually, and we've grown.
Yeah.
And we've actually done this ourselves. And
Yeah.
you just think, we can run a business.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
And do you ever have any moments where you think, oh, do you know what? I just want to go back to my old life.
Never in a million years.
No. No, I would like 5-day a week.
Dream on, girl.
And some money, a little salary at the end of the month.
Well, it was lovely to meet you both, and it's a really inspiring story. And I have to say, the stuff you make in this garage is pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you both. Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a good weekend. I've been rather won over by Simon and Carole's take on this unusual snack, and wisely, they're keen to keep the homemade ethos that makes this business special.
No job in the world gives you that sense of satisfaction when you have taken all the risks, when you are the one that has leapt away from safe and secure into the unknown, and someone has turned around to you at the end of the day and said, "You've done something really good here. I want to buy it." That's why people like Simon and Carole do what they do.